Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah.
Welcome back to Big Mama's house, y'all. Mama and Lizard are here with you today to talk about Sister Wives, Season 19, Episode 9.
There's like 2 locations in this entire episode that actually matter.
And we were doing a little bit of investigating because I got curious about some things and realized that, like, this show is really like 2 years, maybe 18 months behind. So a lot of this stuff happened a long time ago, so bear with us. We'll try to keep you updated on the timeline. So the show opens. Well, before we start, our show opens. Welcome. Hi there, y'all. Whether you're new or coming back to us, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are happy to have you. Please like, share, subscribe because it's free and, lets us know that, hey, you don't hate our guts and want us to die.
Yeah, sorry videos have been kind of late this time. It's been quite an event in the country for the past 2 weeks. So,
Yeah, and there's also a lot going on personally around here. So anywho, the show opens with Janelle, and she's at Meri's house to talk about finances. And I'm thinking that this happened maybe possibly January, but not actually started around March of 2023. So this was last March, not this year's March, but last year's March. And then, as you know, that's almost 2 years ago. So it's been a minute since all this happened. And here's what we found out. So the timeline of things is that this year, September 16th, Christine filed her lawsuit or petition or whatever for
custody.
child support and custody and paternity and all that. Then right after that, in October 24th, Kody and Robin buy their new big house, and they bought that house for $3.75 million. That is $3,750,000, y'all. And then November 4th, they sell their old house
Above asking price.
Because they were asking 1.65 and they got 1.775. So, I mean, I know that they had their original mortgage, plus I think they had another mortgage, which I think they used to pay off their portion of Coyote Pass. So, I'm thinking they are going to try to sell Coyote Pass to pay off their debts.
And also try to pay off a more chunk of the mortgage on the house. Though Janelle made a point with talking to Meri, and there's like, I thought you were in charge of the financials.
We're not there yet. Calm down.
You're talking about financial stuff,
But
so
we're not
yeah.
there yet.
Yeah. But the whole point is,
No, I got you. You're absolutely right. We're almost there. Just hang on one second. So I don't know what you guys think. Where are they getting all this money? I don't know if they've got a book deal in the works and that's where they got infusion of cash. I don't know what they're doing, but like Janelle basically tells Meri that she's concerned because she's never been really involved in the family finances and doesn't really know what's going on and just trust what Kody tells her, but she doesn't really know what Kody's up to, and so she's just trying to give her a heads up.
honestly, though, I feel at this point that she's like, can't you trust what they're doing? Janelle straight up, no, I don't trust them to give me a good portion of the thing. And she even pointed out that if he decided to, Meri could get nothing. Not even a dime, not even a penny.
Well, I mean, he'd get sued for that for sure because her name is on that one piece of that one lot. So he would have to give her something, or at least the herd. Here's the thing of that one lot. Okay, and they said the lots were worth about approximately $170,000 a piece. Well, that one lot that her name is on also has Kody and Janelle's name on it. So she only is entitled to a third of $170,000 legally, technically, if we're gonna get technical. So like she wouldn't walk away with very much for 32 years marriage.
But here's also the thing is that I was actually really annoyed with Meri in the scene, like super annoyed. I'm like, Meri,
We haven't quite got to the outing part yet.
but she just feels so like naive and delusional. Like you've spent like you're old, like what 50 something, and you don't figure out that Kody is not on your side, and that you had to get a spiritual divorce.
Because she's still in love with him. Let's be real. She would still be with him, and she's willing to believe whatever bullshit he's floating because she loves him.
This just feels like the wife who keeps going back to the husband who keeps cheating on her. And then she's like, oh, I forgive him, we'll move past this. Cheats on her again. Oh,
But he loves me.
Yeah. It just,
So Janelle and Meri haven't seen each other in a year, except very briefly at Logan's wedding, and that was in October of 2022. So I mean, that's been more than 2 years ago now. So this happened at least, like I said, I believe it happened in March of 2023. Um, and the next scene, Kody is shoveling snow with the kids to clear his truck out so he can take them to school because all he wants to talk about is the snow and the weather they had there. And again, a lot of this crap, I think they're just doing it for filler because they couldn't tape the entire season.
yeah.
So like, I don't even think they're gonna get to Garrison's death until next season, which is awful because that is just putting like delaying and renewing their pain, and it really bothers me. But anyway, that's a different situation.
I think of it as more like they're giving them like a mourning time to grieve. They're giving them that piece of that privacy. And I don't know how much they're gonna have of the family after his funeral. Because what it seems like the funeral was the last straw for a lot of his kids. Like even McKelty and Tony cut him off.
Yeah, I would love to know what happened.
And Ari just hits the truck with a shovel. It was so funny though. Kody was like, "Don't hit the truck," and Ari goes, "Bam!" And he's like,
Well, she was trying to swipe the snow off the top of the hood with a shovel, but she's short, so she went right into the hood, inside the hood. So
Yeah. He's got a 6-year-old out shoveling to get them to school.
I think she was probably more like 7 or 8, almost 8 in this. I don't know. Again, the timeline is so screwed up, you guys. I apologize. So then Janelle finds out that Meri is moving to Utah permanently. And I don't know, she looked kind of sad. Like whenever she said, yeah, I got a spiritual divorce and I'm moving away. And I had this look on her face. And I don't know if it's editing or whatever, but she looked kind of like a little bit sad.
Well, just like Meri, Janelle is still part of the religion, and they believe in the afterlife. If you have a spiritual marriage, you'll be all in the afterlife together. Which to Janelle, that means she won't see Meri and when she dies.
I wouldn't think she'd care because she never cares about her and like alive life, but whatever.
See, my thing about it is that the more I see Kody and the different wives talking to other and talking about stories, it just feels like Kody just lied and took control of everything. Because again,
I've been saying that forever since I read their book.
but even like Robin, like she told one story, which she told Kody that she was fine with, that was her decision, and Kody got mad on behalf of her to go argue with another wife.
Because she sided against her with not buying the house, which he really wanted to buy for some reason.
But then he told Janelle that Robin was upset, which said she wasn't, and I'm actually inclined to believe that. I fully believe Kody would cause issues on behalf of Robin because he feels like she's being slighted as his soulmate.
I've been saying that for seasons now, that he has been.
And
I used to be anti-Robin. Don't get me wrong. I was with everyone else because you see what you see and you read what you read, and that's all you get. But the more that the crazy is actually coming out of Kody, and we're seeing the real Kody, and he's not just his bullshit salesman front, the more you see that he was telling everyone this crap and doing this stuff on his own behalf, but using Robin as an excuse, or saying Robin got upset about something because he didn't like the way she was being treated. And it just created all this drama, and it was all him, but everybody blamed Robin. And I don't think Robin had much to do with any of it.
And according to Robin, it's basically Kody who was telling them that the other wives had issues with her. So again, he's the one common denominator. And plus the fact, I've noticed that Robin just looks so like emotionally drained. Like every time she's around Kody, she just looks like she's stressed and like she's worked like a 12-hour shift 3 times in a row.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine? We only see this stuff an hour a week, and it riles us up and makes us want to commit, Gary. But, can you imagine living with that 24/7, never being able to escape, being trapped in that house with him and the kids and not being able to do anything? Because he is controlling her every move. So, yeah, anyway, we have to get off of this because we got to get back to the show and we're just running away with ourselves.
But even the finances, because as Meri finds out from Janelle that Janelle was only the bookkeeper. She only kept track of finances, and Kody was in charge. But again, Robin thinks that each of the wives had control of their own allowances and finances, but it was all Kody.
Well, no, they did have their control of their own finances and households and stuff. But like when it came to the family pot, yeah, that was all him, and that was where the majority of the money went. So okay, Janelle says that Meri was loyal to a fault and would still be there with him probably if she could. But it's about damn time she left. And Meri finds out that Janelle left, like legit left Kody and is at peace, and as Janelle says, she's free. Mary's not at peace yet, hopes to be, and she also wishes that things with the family could have been better. And they're both sad about how things turned out with the kids and everything. So Janelle tells Meri that Coyote Pass's note is due in 75 days. And that's where I get that this had to have been taped around March of 2022 because it was due in June of 2022, and that's when they paid it off like at the last minute.
No, 2023. 2023.
I apologize, 2023. Not according to my notes, but okay. Meri says she's not worried about it, but Janelle tells her that Kody says he doesn't have the money to pay off the land. So Meri tells Janelle that like you said, Janelle's the one that was handling the finances, but no, it's all Kody. Janelle tells Meri to protect her interests for her quarter cut of the land. And Meri says, "Don't you think we have each other's backs?" And Janelle's like, No, I really don't. And these are quotes, y'all. And in their interviews, Meri says, "I don't think they're," meaning Kody and Robin, going to screw us over. And Janelle says, "I don't necessarily believe that." And Janelle says she just wants to make sure that what she's getting is fair for Meri for her quarter.
And that's where I think Meri is being a little like, naive or delusional. Again, I guess she loves Kody and she would still be with him, but girl, they aren't good with finances. You've seen how they spend their money. And remember the sister wives closet? That was a whole mess. Why do you think they're going to be fair to you?
Yeah. Especially after the way Cody's been talking shit. I'm sorry. So Janelle says that Kody keeps telling me he doesn't have money. And Meri says, well, Cody's always been very creative in his financial situations. But she's not going to take sides, not the Ex-Wives Club or the Kody and Robin. But she's not concerned about it. She, thinks that Kody will just come up with the money somehow. So here's what I did a little research on. So in 1997, Janelle was the first to file bankruptcy for about $20,000. Okay. Then in 2005, Kody and Meri filed bankruptcy, and because they're the married couple, they had the bulk of the debt, and that was $230,000. And then, according to their papers, they ended up paying roughly about $188,000. But still, that's a big chunk taken off. And then in 2010, Christine filed bankruptcy for about $25,000. So if you're doing the math, that's about $75,000, $80,000 that they got for free, and what they had to write on the documents, like what it was, and it was mostly car loans and credit cards. Imagine that. I mean, no wonder they drove nice cars and had food to eat and all that stuff whenever all their stuff was happening, because. And you notice that Christine filed in 2010, right as the show was starting, so that she wouldn't have any income to use, so that she could get rid of that debt before she actually had an income.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, hey, You do you, people. After the first commercial, Christine and David are buying a house together, and they're going to go look at houses before going to Flagstaff for Gwendolyn's engagement party. And as they're looking at houses and whatnot, this whole part here, and Christine and Kody have very different memories of designing her Las Vegas house. We all remember back then when the wives all finally got approved for their mortgages, and they had to pick their layouts and what they wanted and all their extras, and they had to stick in their budgets and all that stuff. And I remember them all sitting at a table, going over designs of the house and layout. He would sit with each wife and do it, and then the colors and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the majority of it was done by each individual wife. Now, of course, we know that Kody helped design Robin's house because it was always their home, but whatever. Um, After the second commercial, we're in Flagstaff, and Christine and David are in our house so that they can have all the kids around and meet Janelle's kids. And Gwendolyn's party is the next day. At this point, it's no Robin, no Kody or Janelle, and Meri's going to be there. And the kids that got to meet David the night before these are all the kids that were there. Savannah, Gabe, Gwen, McKelty, Tony, and their three kids, Aspen and Mitch, Bia, who's Gwen's fiance, and Isabel. So that's 14 people in this little rental house. So good on that little house for holding it all. And as far as Gwendolyn being engaged to a woman and all that, Cody says, God told me I judge, you love. That's how I live if I can. And I'm like, you hypocritical son of a bitch. You judge people all the time. You do nothing but judge your wives and your ex-wives and your kids because anybody that doesn't agree with you must be judged. Bullshit. Anything to add?
Apparently, if you don't agree with them, you got no loyalty. Betrayal.
Right?
Treason.
Up with your head. And Janelle says she couldn't make it last minute because of Maddie's baby. Her third baby, Josephine, was born February 10th of last year. And I just found out that she's pregnant again with number 4.
Oh.
So that's I don't know if Kody knows. That's interesting. After the third commercial, now Kody and Robin are coming to the engagement party. And I was thinking, like, it's in Flagstaff, okay? Why would she have it there when the only people that live there are Kody and Robin? Everyone else pretty much lives in Utah.
Does she live in Utah or Flagstaff?
Good point. I think she does live in Flagstaff. Yeah. Good point. Excellent point. Thank you. I was thinking. And I think it's cute that their engagement party is a Valentine theme because that's when they had it was right in the beginning of February. And I think it was awesome that they had a tattoo artist giving out tattoos. Oh my Lord, I want to have that. I want to go to every party that has that because I need more tattoos all the time and I have no money.
I also doubled that.
Yay, we all agree. So Kody says that it's familiar strangers being around his ex-wives, and it's awkward seeing them and probably some of the kids too. And Christine and David talk to Meri, and Meri and Christine hug. Meri tells Christine she loves her, and Christine says it back. And I'm like, now wait just a hot damn minute. Christine has shunned Meri for years, decades, really, and talked crap about her, doesn't want her kids around her, in public, talks like this mean shit about Meri so that everyone in the world is speculating about, oh my God, what did Meri do? Why do they hate Meri so much? Oh my God. And it's ridiculous. And now you're hugging her and telling her you love her? Are you that disingenuous or are you just full of shit? Because it's got to be one of the two because I'm very confused.
Well, about this, Meri is very realistic, and she mentioned that when Christine tried to get actually talk to her, she's like, I'm not close enough to her to give her any information about me. And I'm like, true, that is legit. Christine has actively
talk about betrayal and not being loyal. I mean, shit.
Right to your sister wives.
Yes.
But as we all know, Kody was probably, making sure they didn't ever talk together.
He was instigating all that shit between them because even though he wasn't supposed to be talking about the other wife to the current wife that he was with, he did. And so it always stirred the pot and it always kept stuff going between them. And I think that was a large part of the problem, just like it is today.
And it's a tactic of manipulation because if they're all pitted against each other, then they won't ever like turn to each other to compare stories about what he's told each of them. And he probably wasn't even different. Janelle has been upfront that he talked crap about all of them to her. Well, except for
Well,
Rob.
they also could compare, how he gets to them, how much time he spends with them, what he does with the kids, all that kind of stuff. So you don't want wives being able to talk to each other and do that kind of stuff.
Because it actually keeps him accountable.
And it makes him be fair, and as it's anyway.
Also, he knew that if all the three wives were actually together as a unit, they could outnumber him and Robin.
What do you mean?
Well, if the three wives actually got along together, actually talked and compared, they would any decision they could just go over 3 against 2. And Kody wanted to keep that power and make sure Robin had everything he thought she wanted or needed.
Did you notice that Christine only got really friendly and hugged Meri whenever Meri said that she had divorced Kody and said, the cat's done, and that's when she was like, oh my God, that's awesome. But, Meri is not, it's only been a couple of months since the divorce at this point for Meri. And she is not there yet. Like me, I was so over my first husband when I divorced him that I literally giggled through my divorce hearing. And even on the stand, I was giggling. I was winking at the judge. And then I went right to work afterwards. And then that night, I cried myself to sleep. Because it was weird going to bed alone, knowing that that would be it until maybe if I ever found someone else, which of course I did. But, you know what I mean? At that point, I didn't know. I was 23 years old. I'm the same age you are now.
I am 23. I'm almost 24.
I had 2 babies and freshly divorced, and yeah, it was scary. But anyway, that was enough about me.
And imagine Meri, like ever since she was 19, she's been married to the same guy forever, and she,
never held anyone else's hand, never kissed anyone else. I mean, he was it for her.
And again, like even if she, is done with him in marriage, that doesn't mean she doesn't need time to grieve. Because again, she has 32 years that are gone, she has the ex-husband saying, "Oh, I didn't actually love her. I never actually did,"
which is the disgusting thing to do. So after the last commercial, Kody says he's much more cautious now around the family. And here's my thought. Instead of bonding with the kids that were there, I named off several of them, including Gabe, who he needs to bond with.
Mm-hmm.
He stays glued to Robin and the babies, the twins. And I'm like, this is why you have issues with, you have perfect opportunity here to be like, Robin, come on, let's go chat with all the kids. And he's got a support system. He's got his buddy right there with him. He has no excuse. Like, he's got backup. And, like, he could be doing that bonding. But no, he chooses to be a coward as usual. He's going to wait for them to come to him.
That's what I was just about to say. Like, it's a control thing. He can't go to them because he loses control. And they have to go talk to him. And let's get the thing. He could have avoided Christine and David. Like, I would prefer him avoiding Christine and David and just mingling around his kids, avoiding his kids and trying to get like info out of Christine and David, which is super weird, especially because he said like David kept looking at Robin more than me. What are you, dude? Are you really being possessive and jealous about the guy who's literally dating your ex-wife?
Right. So, like you said, Kody now meets David, and it's been about 6 weeks that they've been dating.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, oh my God, they're so ridiculous. They're engaged, in the house, and all this crap, and it's been 6 weeks. Then I was like, okay, I have no room to judge. We had our first date August 12th, and he had moved in by October. He had proposed on the 3rd date. So I just like.
She didn't accept the proposal on the 3rd date. She told him to go to bed.
Yeah, I accepted it a little bit later, but I mean, it would move fast, and sometimes it's scary, but when it's right, you just feel it in your soul, you just feel it.
And just like Christine, you knew what you didn't want.
Right on there. So Kody says David held his grandkids, and Kelty's like, no, he did more than that. He's babysat them, and tells them that he's got 8 kids of his own and 10 grandkids. And David thinks that Kody got upset by him being around his grandkids and babysitting and having that relationship with them. Um, but Kody said it was just because he talked more and made more eye contact with Robin, like you said, which of course he's gonna be a little bit more, I don't know, I guess possessive because he just lost 3 wives in a 14-month span and most of his kids, and so he's clinging to everyone he's got left, which isn't many.
Unlike Kody, who has so many issues, David is probably just trying to make eye contact with both of them to be respectful of Robin. Like saying, I'm also looking at you in the conversation because, you're here. I'm not just going to ignore you. And I don't think that really ever happens to Robin because people are more talking to Kody because
He's the loud ass.
yeah, and again, people's like, oh, Robin's manipulative. I haven't seen much of Robin actually talking to the other wives or talking to Kody. And every time we see something that he's angry about, he's saying it. He's saying Robin's upset about this, and so now he's upset.
And she's going, no, we're not. I was upset.
And again, I don't think she was totally unaware of everything throughout the years. She obviously had to have some kind of awareness. But again, being in a manipulative relationship like that, where he's able to manipulate not just one wife, but 4 of them at the same time.
Divide and conquer, baby. Divide and conquer.
But a blow up in his face when he showed a little bit too much favoritism and during COVID.
Well, here's the thing. I know we're blaming Kody for all the financial stuff, right? Because he's the one who's making those decisions. He's the one, quote, in charge. However, Robin has her own culpability here because she allows it to happen. She could say, no, we are not buying a almost $4 million house. No, we're not going to buy $1 million worth of paintings. No, you don't need to buy thousands of dollars worth of jewelry for Christmas. I know you don't have to buy me all these things. Just say no. Have the fucking balls, have some backbone, be a grown fucking woman, put your bra on, and say no.
But here's the thing, Kody was really weird mentioning his shy wife, and I feel like she just doesn't speak up against him at all. Like she's almost terrified to make him upset.
Oh, yeah, because right now you flash up the handle about everything, and everyone's not loyal, and everyone's doing this and whatever. Like, what can she do without being labeled just like everybody else?
And again, he's like, you can't be against me. You're the only one I have. You're my. And again, he's always said that she's his soulmate, but I've never heard Robin say that ever.
In the beginning, yeah, back when, yeah, but that was in the beginning.
Yeah, and then when she actually joined the family and became a part of a unit, she never said it again. Like I can't remember a single episode where she did. If you could find an episode and you can prove me wrong, please put it in the comments below, and I will literally go back and look at it.
Totes. A couple little last minute notes here. The first one was Christine said she was happy that Gwen let Robin and Kody come.
Like that's her dad.
And no, but she let them. Like I guess maybe she was one of the people that were angry and didn't want him to come, didn't want to have an issue, and decided last minute, yeah, okay, we'll let him come because it's right down the street. I don't know. Also, and all of this stuff about love and romance and exes and all this stuff, no one has talked about Truly. She is a child.
No, her sister brought her.
Wait, I know. Aspen's the only one that cares about Truly right now, it seems like. And Truly's well-being. But no one talks about poor Truly, and I don't think that's fair because we don't hear about if she gets to hang out with her father. We don't hear if she gets to see her other siblings there. We don't know if, how is she doing? And I know that she's a child and they don't want to put her in front of the camera. She doesn't want to be, and obviously from her wardrobe and demeanor, she's not the most outgoing kid. So I get it, but still, we need to know that she's okay.
Well, from how the other siblings are acting, it's clear that Kody doesn't make any effort to try to visit any of them. So I don't think he's visiting Truly. And I kind of get that not when he put Truly in front of the camera, she doesn't want to. But they did that for years with all their children, and they didn't get a say in it.
Yeah, but it's a little bit different
Now,
today than it
Yeah.
was 19 seasons ago, back in, was it 2010 when they started?
yeah. But if I was one of the older kids, I'd be a little miffed that Christine's like, "Oh, we don't really want to put in front of the camera," and they were literally like in the bedroom without the kids' bedroom, camera in their faces.
Yeah, filming in their house 6 months out of the year, or whatever. But yeah, that was my thought. I always have a soft spot for kids and old people and animals. So like, I'm always gonna focus on those things. And I hope she's okay. I hope she's doing well. I hope that David is a good, stable male influence in her life because every kid needs that from someone. Doesn't have to be a father. It could be an uncle, a grandpa, a good family friend, a teacher, someone. You know what I mean? Just everyone needs a role model, whether it's male or female. That's all I'm saying. Okay, guys, that's it for this episode, season 19, episode 9 of Sister Wives. Please like, share, subscribe if you love us, or even, kind of think, you don't want us to die. As always, we are dedicating this season to suicide prevention. Way, way too many people are being lost. There's so much help out there, and it is free, and it is available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And there's actually been an uptick, and again, like the suicide hotline has said, they've had way more calls and need for calls for help ever since the election. And we know it's hard, but you can't. This will pass, and we will get through this
Together. And that's how we gotta do it. We gotta stick together, band together, and that's how, like, again, divided we fall, united we stand. So we just gotta stick together, y'all. Again, if you need help, call 988 from your cell phone. They have people available in English and Spanish. They do care. They are there to help. Um, just reach out. Just make that call. If you are not a talker, if you don't want to talk to someone, text them. You can text pound 988 on your cell phone, or hashtag or the pound symbol, however you know it. But just pound 988 and text to someone 24 hours a day again. Please don't be afraid to reach out. They're not going to judge you. They're there to help you. And like us, a lot of the people that are there have been there. They know what it's like to be so depressed that you want to die and to try to kill yourself and have to come back from that. It is hard, and we get it. So please reach out. If, okay, guys, until next time, bye.